When I was a little girl, one of my favorite things to do was play pretend. I would pretend to be anything, from a princess to a chef to a famous movie star. Over time, some roles I started to play became more frequent. One of those roles was a teacher. In fact, I started to pretend to be a teacher so much that it became a dream of mine. Perhaps this is because of my mother's influence. Growing up, all little girls dream to be just like their mothers. My mother happens to be a teacher. Now she's a principal, but when I was a little girl, she was a teacher, and she taught preschool. I remember when I was little, she used to bring me to school with her, or I used to help her color posters or paint pictures for her classes, and it was something I really loved to do. Playing teacher was my absolute favorite thing to do because it was something that I really wanted to be. It was the first time in my life that I had picked out, that's what I'm going to be when I'm going to grow up. And although, like most people, that idea changed over time and I wanted to do a lot of different things, I kept coming back to teaching in the back of my mind. In high school, actually, starting in freshman year and sophomore year, I was not planning to be a teacher at all. I was actually planning on going to school for music. But as I started thinking about it more and more, I realized that that wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. That wasn't something that I felt a calling towards. But I did realize how much I loved working with children and teaching and being in that role of educating people and helping people learn things. And that was when I decided, you know what, I'm going to go to school to be a teacher.
I remember back when she was in high school, when her brother was struggling in school and needed help with his homework, Colette would always step up and be the one that helped him and really helped him make it through his high school years. And at that point, knowing how she liked to teach him, I always felt that she'd make a great teacher, and it was something that I felt she always wanted to do and she would be a success at.
So I finally decided that I wanted to be a teacher, and I couldn't be happier about it. But then, I faced a new and perhaps more difficult decision.
Then I had the difficulty of choosing what kind of education I wanted to do. And I was torn between two opposite ends of the spectrum. I either wanted to do daycare or preschool, or I wanted to do high school. Very big difference, right? I think a part of the reason why I was strongly considering preschool is because in my sophomore year, I started working at the daycare across the street from me. And when I was there, I worked with children from ages 6 weeks old up to the 5th grade. Pretty big range, I know. But while I was there, I gained so much experience on how to work with all these different kids of different ages. And while many people would get very annoyed working there every single day, or dealing with the terrible twos, or all these different age groups, it was something that I truly enjoyed and that I loved doing. I genuinely loved going to work every single day and getting to be with these kids. And although I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it can be a little frustrating, it was still something that I would not trade for anything else. But then I also realized that I love math, and I actually always have loved math. Ever since I was in the 2nd grade, that was when we started having different math classes from the rest of our peers, and I was in the advanced math, but I really loved it. It was something I went home and I would do for fun. I filled out all these different booklets of just different math problems. I would study it at home, read ahead. I just loved math. And to this day, I still do. And I thought about it, and I thought, wow, there are some teachers that I have that honestly were not very good at all. They turned a lot of people away from math and scared them. And I thought to myself, you know what? It would be really awesome if I could be the kind of teacher who could actually make kids excited about math and excited to go into class. And I decided, well, you know what, although I do love little kids and I would love to work at a daycare, that's something that a lot of young girls want to do and something that they feel they have a passion for. Whereas not many people at all are going for math, especially females, don't want to go for high school math. So I thought, I was given this talent, I was given this gift of math, and I should be sharing this with other people. And even though high schoolers are a lot older than little kids, I still love working with them as well. And this was confirmed over this past summer when I worked at the Upper Bound program here at Rampa. I got to be a calculus tutor and also an English tutor. And the English was with sophomore high schoolers and the calculus was with seniors. And I was also a counselor for the camp. So I was there from Sunday night all the way to Friday afternoon with these kids, and I was living on campus with them, and I just got to take care of them and watch out for them, but also hang out with them and be with them in a way that you don't really get an opportunity to do as a college student going for secondary education. The most interaction you get with high school students is when you're doing your observations and eventually your student teaching and stuff like that. But this was a really unique experience where I actually got to be with these kids every single day, seeing them in the classroom setting, but also seeing them in the camp setting, and see them just be normal teenagers and not just high school students. This really showed me how much I love working with high schoolers as well, because you get to connect with them in a way that you can't really connect with preschoolers, because you get to communicate with them on a higher level, and while neither one is necessarily bad, they're just different. But I love both of them just as much. But I realized that I really feel my calling is to be a high school teacher and a high school math teacher.
One of the reasons, there are many reasons why I think and know Colette would be a good teacher, but one of the reasons is because Colette has always been very inquisitive about learning. She's always loved learning. She always loved going to school, which is quite unusual for most children. It's someplace that she enjoys being. Since she was in preschool until the day she graduated high school, she never complained about going to school. And as a principal myself, I tell you that's not the norm for most young children. And she enjoys helping people, and it makes her very proud to do that. So I've always seen that in her. So putting that together is the perfect ingredients for an excellent teacher. She enjoys math, and she makes it fun for people that have difficulty with math, and people are drawn to her for that reason. And her love of learning and doing things different ways and trying different approaches shows me that that's her best asset as a teacher, that she would be able to provide different ways of learning things. She's not just going to tell you, she's showing you how to do it.
One of the things that I really hope for is that I can be the teacher who students are like, oh, I have Miss Barca. Okay, well, it's going to be math, but you know what? Since it's with her, it's not going to be that bad. I can get through this. Because a lot of people have math phobias, and it's because it just takes one bad teacher to ruin it for you. So I want to be the opposite of that. I want to be a teacher who inspires students and who encourages students to go that extra mile to succeed and to learn as much as possible, and not to put such an emphasis on getting this grade or getting this amount correct, but on just understanding it and realizing the satisfaction of putting in that effort and then getting that result instead of just flipping to the back of the book and getting the answer. So I hope that I can be that inspiration for other people.
Well, I hope she continues along that path, and I think she'll be a great help to all of the kids growing up in the future that will benefit from her expertise and the way she teaches.
I hope Colette continues on in what she loves and becomes an excellent teacher, because she has every capacity to do that.
Now I'm finally getting the opportunity to become a teacher and to fulfill my childhood dream. And I just hope that I can be able to inspire others and to help my students' dreams come true as well.